Another survivor of the baptism, I see. I hope they weren't too rough on you. But I'm here to help you, don't worry. I always help the new people here. You arrived at quite an interesting time. We currently celebrate the 5th anniversary of the founding of New Columbia and the downfall of Zachary Comstock. But since you are new here, perhaps I should tell you a little bit about our history, if that's fine with you. Good. There's quite a bit to process. It might be a little bit confusing. Was to me too. Right. Where do I begin? It all started with a man named Zachary Hale Comstock. He was a farmer and a small-time preacher. Not many people knew him back then. One day, he claimed that he was visited by an archangel named Columbia. And he told everyone that this archangel showed him a vision of a floating city. And he was certain that he was the one to make this vision become reality. So Comstock managed to meet with the US Congress and presented his idea to them, and they were agreeing to fund this idea because they were sure it would show American exceptionalism perfectly. And so Comstock was determined to make his dream become reality. Met a scientist named Rosalind Lutece. She was a quantum physicist, to be exact. And Rosalind Lutece was able to indefinitely suspend an atom mid-air, meaning that she could make small things float, technically. Why not a city? As Rosalind and Comstock were continuing to work on that idea, Rosalind had created a machine with which she could create what she called tears, and that trans-dimensional machine could, as she said, open portals to other dimensions through time and space. I know it sounds surreal, but then again, we are in a floating city, so is it really that surreal? Wow, they really made you dive into that water, didn't they? So with that machine that Rosalind had created, Comstock was able to see events that would occur before that happened. And so he used that to prove to everyone in Colombia that he was truly a prophet. He really tricked all of us. But using this machine wasn't good for him. He started to age very quickly. And it also caused for him to be unable to have children. Everything that I'm telling you now is what Rosalind Lutez eventually told us, so I hope I can make you understand. That's what I understood. Maybe it's entirely wrong. It's all a bit complicated. So, Rosalind Lutez explained to us that she told Comstock that if they brought a child that he had in a different dimension, since it would technically still be his child, it would be alright. So they decided to take a child of his in another dimension and bring it to Colombia to be his child in this world. And so they did that. This little girl was named Elizabeth. Comstock's wife went along with his story. His story was, well, a child had suddenly appeared. He had to explain that. So he told his people, well, us, that this child was a miracle child and that his wife had only been pregnant for 7 days, which further secured his status as a prophet. And his wife, in the beginning, played along with his story. But as time passed and Elizabeth grew older, Comstock's wife became more and more suspicious. And she thought that it was actually Rosalind Lutez's child. That Rosalind was the mother of the girl they had. And so she threatened to tell all of Colombia that that was the case, even though it wasn't the truth. Rosalind even tried to explain to her where Elizabeth came from. And she told her the truth, but she couldn't believe it. As Comstock's wife threatened to expose him and tell that story, he had her killed. Apparently he saw no other way out of this situation. So he had her killed, and he blamed her servant, a young lady named Daisy Fitzroy. So Daisy had to run away, which she did. She ran away to Finkton, an area in Colombia where a lot of workers have always been. And there, Daisy founded a rebellion group that were against the leaders of Colombia and were fighting for equal rights for all people. So the rebellion grew stronger and stronger. And then one day, almost exactly 5 years ago, came the false shepherd that Comstock had already seen coming. And he fought his way to the tower where Elizabeth was being held, Comstock's daughter. And he freed her since she was locked up in there. And they fled to Paris. And on that same day, the rebellion group of Daisy Fitzroy, the Vox Populi, arrived and brought Comstock down from his throne. And then they convinced Rosalind Lutece to tell the truth, to tell all citizens of Columbia the truth of what had happened. And she did. She agreed to do that. And now Daisy Fitzroy is our leader, the leader of New Columbia, making sure that everyone has equal rights, everyone feels welcome. And she renamed, all of us renamed this city New Columbia. And now it's all quite beautiful. People can live how they want and be free. But we do have some rules when it comes to the living style. You do have to wear clothes that fit this city. Inside of your house you can wear whatever you want to. But when you're outside, we all want this entire city to just look like it's full of harmony. And if someone walks around here wearing an outfit that just doesn't fit the image of the city, just ruins the atmosphere. So we do have some rules like that. Your hair is almost dry because of the sun and the light breeze. Isn't it quite beautiful with the birds and all? I could show you around a bit, if you'd like that. I could show you the market area, or at least a bit of it. You can discover some things on your own if you want to, of course. Would you like to see some of it? Okay then, follow me, it's right that way. It's beautiful, isn't it? I like this place, especially this area. It feels so alive, in a way. If you'd like, you can get yourself a hot dog over there. You can also, from here, go into multiple directions and just explore all of this beautiful city. And if you'd like, later I could perhaps show you the beach. Yes, we do have a beach. And it's really quite cozy for a beach. You'll see. I'll show you. If you would like that, of course. Good. So I hope you learned a little bit about our history today, and well, I hope you are listening, and I would love to see you again. So if you ever feel like you want someone to show you around, just come to me. I guess I will see you. You go explore the city, and I'll go home. Goodbye.